The Fuse UK podcast is proudly sponsored by EcoSmart. EcoSmart help people to find the most suitable and affordable solutions to reduce their energy bills. They will assess your property and determine which system would be the most suitable for you to power your home with cheaper, greener energy. Not just that, but EcoSmart can also provide scaffolding services. They can change charging ports at home for your electric cars and many more services they can provide. Call them now on 0800 222 9532. EcoSmart, leading the way in renewable energy. Yes, people, what's happening? Nice one for coming back to the Fuse UK. It's much appreciated as always. Tonight we're joined by one of my favourite fighters, a legend in the bare knuckle game, BKFC, been in from the beginning. And we're going to have a chat with him now ahead of BKFC 49 with his fight with Bryce Henry. It's Tom Shoaff. How are you doing, Tom? You're okay, mate?
I'm doing wonderfully, my friend. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. How have you been?
Oh, I'm freshly recovered and off a nice long layoff, and just ready to get back to work, man. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you, mate. Thanks for asking.
Good.
I was wondering, mate, if we could, because last time we talked, it was just before the Palomino fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if you could tell us how you felt in that fight. Did camp and everything go good in that fight?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I trained too much for that fight. Looking back on it, hindsight's always 2020. But
Yeah.
I started getting prepared for that fight, thinking that I was going to be fighting in September. So we started camp back in June, and then the fight didn't actually take place until December. So I had trained a lot for that camp, and it felt like there was a long time coming. So I felt like my performance was a little rushed. There was a lot of anxiety leading up to it, so it definitely could have been better for me. But
Yeah.
again, hindsight's always 2020. So looking back on the situation and scenario, I can only improve and grow and get better. And I stepped in there with the pound for pound best in the world, and I realized that there are things that I need to improve on, things that I need to get better at. So even though I lost, training was good and the fight was good, and I really have no complaints or animosity towards that last fight in any way, shape, or form. It worked out well.
Yeah, of course, mate. And was Louis Palomino everything you expected him to be?
Yes and no. Um, he was more of a gentleman than I expected. I was expecting a little more trash talk, a little more, I don't know, animosity out of him, and I didn't get any, which I thought was really cool and really respectable. And
It's
then
probably
as far as
because you're a gentleman too.
he is very much a gentleman, absolutely. And and then as far as the fight goes, I think the thing that threw me off or surprised me the most about him was I knew he was going to be fast and I knew he was going to be powerful, but I didn't realize how lethal the combination of speed and power together was going to be. So there were times when he hit me. For example, in the first round, the second time he dropped me, I don't even know. Like still to this day, I know it was a left hook, but I don't ever remember taking the left hook. I just remember him hitting me so fast and so hard that I just had to sit down and shake it off. And, like what the hell was that type of moment. So I would say that, yeah, both of those things surprised me. The combination of speed and power that he has was astounding, and the fact that he was a true gentleman, before, during, and after the fight. Yeah, both of those things were unexpected for me.
Yeah, like I just said there, he was probably being a gentleman to you because you're a gentleman as well. I think it's sort of like, the energy that he
Yeah.
gets off a fighter, I suppose he gives it back. Do you get what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I think that me being polite and respectful towards him made it easier for him to give me that energy back. Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. And what's been happening since the fight with Lewis Palomino? Did you have much time off before you were back hard at it in the gym?
Oh yeah, man, I took a lot of time off. Well, yes and no. So, the fight was early December, and then I took off until January. I got back into training in about mid-January. Um, I got some rounds in with Jake Lindsay to help him get prepared for his Connor Tierney matchup that was in
Yeah.
February. Um, and then I really just kind of took a lot of time off. I took off until I want to say about April, and then April I started training again and getting myself back into shape and moving around and stuff. And that's kind of what I was referring to earlier. Is I'm fresh off a long recovery.
Yeah.
Had plenty of time to rest and feel better and get my body back to where it's supposed to be. And yeah, I feel good, man. And so I took about 4 months off from training, and then now I'm running on about 3.5 4 months of training. And I feel good. I feel sharp. I'm not overdoing it. I'm not pushing myself to the max on a daily basis like I was doing before. So I feel smarter. I feel well recovered, and I feel good, man. The fight coming up, I think, will be a good performance for me. Nice little farewell fight for Tom.
What was that, farewell fight?
Yeah. This will be my last BKFC fight, man. I have decided not to renew my contract. Um, and that's not anything against bare knuckle fighting or the BKFC. It's more of a personal decision that I've made. Stylistically, I take a lot of damage, uh, and that's just not conducive to longevity, whether it's a career or it's just life. Um, so I think that yeah, I think that this is going to be my last one for the BKFC, man. Well, I shouldn't say I think. I know for sure this will be my last one for this contract, and I'm not renewing it. Whether or not I decide to come back somewhere down the line, I do not know. But as it stands, this will be the last one. Yes, sir.
Ah, that'll be a shame, that mate. It'll be a massive loss for the BKFC. I know that, mate. But obviously, health comes first, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's kind of to to be as blunt or as open as I can about it. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. I hope that they feel the loss. Uh, I want to
Yeah.
go out. I want to put on a good performance, and I want to do uh, right by me and my coaches and my fight team. But I also want to felt like I'm being done right by the companies that I work for, and and hopefully after I'm gone for a little while, they'll realize that I'm more of a hot commodity than they think, and we'll be able to come to terms on some things. But as it stands right now, man, the juice is not worth the squeeze. So I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to enjoy coaching.
Yeah, I get what you mean, mate. You got to do what's best for you, haven't you, Tom?
Absolutely, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And obviously, BKFC 49 coming up. You've got a new opponent, in Bryce Henry. He's a great boxer, got a good boxing background. What do you think of him as a fighter so far in the BKFC bouts you've seen him in?
I've watched his boxing matches and I've watched his bare knuckle matches. And honestly, I'm impressed. Like he's a young kid. He's
Yeah,
tall. He's long, which often doesn't always coincide, believe it or not. But he uses his length well. He's very sharp. He's very accurate. He's patient, which you don't get a lot out of younger fighters. And because he's young, he's going to be full of athleticism. I think this is going to be a very tough fight for me. I think he's a very competent and very talented young man. Um, and that's all I can really say about it. It's not going to be an easy win for me in any way, shape, or form, but the win will be gotten nevertheless.
yeah. Well, all the way through your career, really in the BKFC, you've had good opponents, haven't you?
Yeah, I've really been blessed with uh with solid opponents throughout the entirety of my career that has really allowed me to showcase the type of fighter that I am. Kind of like what I was talking about earlier. Is I have a tendency to take damage. I'll take punches. I'll take shots that probably isn't the smartest thing for me to do or isn't the most conducive to my longevity, but the fans love it. And I've been able to get into the squared circle with a lot of guys that are similar to me in mindset, and they don't mind taking a punch to give a punch. And when you have two guys in there like that, we're gonna put on a show, and I've been fortunate enough to be a part of those shows. And I've had 8 fights for the BKFC, about to be 9. And in my personal opinion, I feel like they're some of the best fights the company has ever had. But I could be a little biased.
No, 100%, mate. Definitely. Numbers don't lie, do they? Just look on YouTube and things like that at your fights that have been put up on them platforms. But like even just like the entertainment of them, like you fight with Joe Elmore, and that's like how you basically won every single round, but daft knockdown made you lose the fight. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I remember like pulling my hair watching the fight, man.
Oh, dude, I watched that fight to this day. Like I was in the fight, I know how it ends, and even to this day, I can watch that fight, and I still think the decision's going to be different. I
Yeah.
still look at that fight, like there's no way, there's no way anybody watching this fight can honestly think that I lost this fight. But that's why there are rules, I guess.
Even the way like you just frustration of you when you get knocked down, where you're not hurt, it's just like a flash knockdown. You're punching the canvas as if to say, "I can't believe this."
Yeah, yeah. It's a learning experience, man. I think that was really that fight was the motivating factor for me to get down to 155 pounds where I belong, and that was what led me to my title fight, so, and that was what led us to talking for the first time, so I can't really be upset with the chain of events or how they played out. I just gotta kind of, take it as they are.
Yeah, 100%, Tom. And with you saying like obviously you've got the personal issues going on in the background, whatever, with what's going on, but inside yourself personally, have you still got the fire and hunger in your belly for the fight game and bare knuckle?
Yeah, man, I think so. I think so. I think that where I'm at right now is I'm 34 years old and I've been doing this for 16 years. Um, I think I'm just tired. I think I'm tired. I think I'm run down, and I think the damage that I do to my body um, through the fights and through training is just reaching its culmination, so to speak. Uh, but I don't know that dog will ever be out of me. I still very much have a an instinctual and innate internal drive to force myself to work hard and to go through stressful and strenuous situations. And I'm not entirely sure how long that will be in me, but the only way I found to release that is to go out and to actually fight people. um, so no, man, I don't think I'm done with fighting. I don't know that I'm done with bare knuckle entirely, but I do know that how I feel right now is I definitely need to take some time off, take a step back, and and just reassess where I'm at with everything, and then go from there. Sometimes it's hard to see the forest through the trees, So I'm trying to
Yeah.
take a step back and get a widescreen view of everything that's going on.
Yes, of course, mate. And what can we expect to see from Tom Shoaff at BKFC 49?
Ooh. Man, I think everybody probably says this, and it's pretty standard answer, but I think that the typical go-to is you're going to see a whole new Tom. You're going to see a whole new version of me or a whole new variation of me. I think that really is the case. I think that I've spent a lot of time being the one forcing the fight and pushing forward and over engaging and getting myself into predicament situations and scenarios. And I think with this new, we'll call it thought process on the way that I've been going about the sport and with the time off, I think you'll see a more defensively intelligent Tom. I think we're going to see a more tactful Tom. I think we'll see a different version, just as exciting, just as entertaining, just slightly different than what we're used to seeing. I think that's what we'll see. But who knows, man? Honestly, I mean, like I was talking about earlier, I could get punched in the first round, take a shot, get pissed off, and then this turns into a dogfight. So I think it's all going to depend on how much self control I have.
Class. And I really appreciate you coming on, mate. And before we wrap it up, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to? Any sponsors, anything like that?
No, man, I don't really have any sponsors. I tend to keep everything kind of local and in-house as far as uh, training and promotion and so on and so forth. But I would like to obviously thank you and thank your fans for listening. Thank my fans for listening. I want to thank my team, my coach, my brother. He stepped up big during this training camp and helped me out so much. I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in without him. And then last but certainly not least, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I have to thank him for making all of this possible. But that's it, man. That's all I got. Like I said, I'll keep it short and sweet.
Wicked, mate. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day anyway, pal. Really appreciate you coming on and wishing you the best of luck, mate, for obviously what's going on and for your fight at BKFC 49.
Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate you having me on.
No problem, mate. I'll speak soon, Tom.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Have a great day.